Welcome to the Open House Podcast. Today, I am joined by Alyssa Isenstein Krueger, and we are going to be talking client advocacy. Thank you for coming to the show today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. In my mind, when someone says client advocate, you show up. You're my flashcard reference for that. Absolutely. I would love to first just establish kind of how long you're doing this and the route that you came into real estate, because I think that's a part of the story.
So I got licensed at the end of 2007, which was probably the worst time in the last 30 years to get licensed. But I got licensed because I was working for a nonprofit home builder helping low-income, moderate-income folks buy homes. And I needed to get a license to do that job. So that was the original reason I got my license. And my background, I have a master's in, I'm a MERP, a master's in urban and regional planning from PSU, and the focus was in community development. So that's how I started doing that job and then got my license to do that job.
And that was for host development,
That
correct?
was for host development.
In New Columbia, was that?
When I joined them, New Columbia was, they were sort of at the tail end of selling New Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And we had just started a project called Helen's View, which is at 64th and Killingsworth. So that's kind of the era I came in.
Okay. And then how did you make the leap from working, I imagine was that like a salaried staff position to establishing your own real estate practice? Because these are years that were pretty tough.
They were
as well.
Yeah, I didn't know any different. So, but yeah, I mean, like everything, the bottom fell out of the market and people couldn't qualify for homes. Or even if they could, people were afraid to buy because they were afraid they were going to lose their job.
Yeah.
And so the last 6 months to a year or so working at Host, I wound up, we had partnered with Portland Housing Center, Hosted, which is a nonprofit that I still work with and volunteer with. But we had partnered with them to work with a lot of their buyers to buy the Host homes. And so because of that, I wound up working with a number of home buyers who were not buying Host homes just to kind of keep Host afloat.
Yeah.
And then, the lenders, like every builder in the area, the lenders called the loans due. We weren't selling enough homes and the bottom fell out just like it fell out for every other builder in the region.
Yeah.
And Host folded and I was unemployed just like most of the other buyers. But I had a license. And so I realized I actually really loved working with buyers. And so I just kept doing that. But at that point, one of our board members at Host was a team leader over at Keller Williams. And she said that I could go there, not pay whatever dues or whatever it was, and just work there and get most of my commission because she felt bad.
Yeah.
And so I was there until I had my second baby in 2013, and that's when I came over here.
The living room, I'm so blessed to have you. As you've served here as our diversity chair on the Broker Advisory Council. And one of the things that's so consistent in your practice that dumbfounds a lot of other agents, I think often is how'd you get those clients? And you really don't do any kind of traditional marketing. You just focus on your advocacy piece of your business, doing an exceptional job for folks, and your people refer you.
Yes.
Oftentimes, the thing that's most special about our business, we don't see as very special because it's just what we do.
Yeah.
But if you had to put it in words, why do you think you have such a loyal clientele?
I don't know. It's not something I really think about. They just come to me. But yeah, I mean, everybody I works with, I'm not the person that people find on social media. I mean, unless you're looking at dog content or travel content. I'm not really, I don't have an online presence or anything other than the living room page, and I have a lot of Google reviews. But other than that, 90% of the people who I work with are referred to me from my, I guess, what they call the sphere of influence. And so I always have a connection to every single person I work with, buyer or seller. Yeah, and I am a very introverted person, but I do really well one-on-one or one-on two or three. And so, yeah, I have to love my clients. Otherwise, it doesn't work for me, and I get crazy. And I try really hard if I'm talking with somebody for the first time and I feel like I'm not going to love them, I won't work with them.
Yeah, it's got to be a good fit. But you seem to, I mean, as one of those people that I feel very loved by, you seem to love the challenging and the difficult.
I don't know. I'm what do you call it? An optimist with people. I mean, there's always, I like to think about what is their motivation.
Yeah.
And they chose me. I'll do my best to help them meet their goals.
Folks that you generally work with, like one of the things that I really love about your practice is that for someone as established and successful as you are, you'll also go the extra innings for your clients, no matter the price range.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm at the point in my career where I'm gonna make a certain amount of money no matter what, and so it doesn't, like whether somebody's buying a $250,000 condo or $1 million home, like that doesn't even enter, like that's not even an issue for me. I mean, I don't even think about it. It's just they're my client and
you're there to serve.
Yes.
Yeah.
And make sure if they're a buyer, make sure that they buy the right house for them. And so I'm very much a nincompoop on 90% of houses. Like, don't buy this. Just don't buy it. And then when we find a good one, I'll tell people to buy it. I mean, if that's what they want. And same with sellers. I mean, I walk them through, and I'm also like very low expectations. This is what, and I walk them through like what's going to come up in a buyer's inspection. And most of the homes I sell are homes I help buyers purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually have a pretty good intimate knowledge of the house and what the issues could be.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the most part, when I'm helping sellers and there's issues, I try to just get out in front of it and let a buyer know, let buyer's agents know, this is an issue with the house. If your buyers are not okay with that, please don't submit an offer because we do not want a sale fail.
Helping so many people get into their first home, and a lot of the affordable homes that you're helping folks get into, there's a lot of problem solving.
Yes.
And a lot of creativity, a lot of problem solving. And you must be attracted somewhat to that challenge, because I've never seen you ever walk away from someone because they don't have enough money or this transaction is going to be too hard. So I imagine, like, if you look back, like, how did you develop those skills? How do other agents, what can they take from that resilience and that drive to learn from?
I mean, I only work with buyers who can afford their expectations.
Mm-hmm.
If they only have $350,000, and they can't afford to fix up a house, then we're not going to be looking at single family homes. We're just not, because they don't exist in that price range that are in good enough shape where somebody with no money after closing can afford to keep them. So at that, so I do a lot of counseling beforehand. Here's homes in your price range. There's no magic place for homes. A lot of these homes that you see at these prices that have been on the market for months, years, there's a reason. And if nobody else wants them and you don't have a lot of money, you're not going to want them. Trust me.
So you do a lot of upfront work on setting expectations and educating people about the market.
It's all about setting expectations and educating. And so I don't work with, if somebody if what they want to buy is not available in their price range, I won't work with them.
Yeah, because you're like, this
isn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I can't deliver results.
It's going to be, it's not that I won't work with you because you don't have the money. It's just, we're not going to be successful. And that's going to be frustrating for you, and it's going to be frustrating for me.
And what does that preliminary, are you doing that one-on-one?
Oh, yeah.
Do you tour people, or or before you tour, do you have a buyer consult?
Oh, yeah. Every time. I always have a buyer consult. And that's a lot of the questions that I have for them are, again, does what you want, can you afford that? And then if most of the time, maybe not most, but 80% of the time when people come to me, they kind of know what they can afford. Even if they haven't spoken to a lender, they've kind of played with calculators. They know their budget. They know what they pay for rent, and what they can afford. So most people shop by monthly payment. Like I pay $1,800 in rent. I can afford another $500 a month. So my budget is going to be looking at a $2,300 a month payment.
Mm-hmm.
And so we kind of shop backwards from that. But if they have a $2,300 a month limit, and they only have 5% down, that's very limiting. I mean, with interest rates over 6, and even when they were over 7, I mean, it's not impossible, but they just have to be willing to buy what they can afford.
It's interesting because you spend all this time up front, and it sounds, as we sit here in this seat right now, it sounds like, oh, how discouraging. There's some agents who meet it, I'm just going to optimistically, and we'll go out there. But what I've noticed, though, is the results that you deliver for your clients is really empowering.
If they want to buy a house and they can afford to buy a house that they would want, then, let's make it happen.
Yeah, but you're willing to have the tough conversation up front, educate them, get them there.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything, looking at like the success that you have and the referability, right? Because you've set everyone up for success.
Yeah.
By the time you get there.
Yeah. And I have very few sale fails. And I've been to enough home inspections on really awful homes to be able to look at homes with buyers and point out what's going to be an issue, what a seller may or may not fix, or also explaining its price for the current condition and explaining what that really means. It needs a new furnace. It's going to need a new roof. It's going to need this. And one of my things I'm constantly telling first-time home buyers is it's cheaper to buy a more expensive house.
Then wishfully think that all those repairs that you need to make are somehow going to someone's going to just show up and fix them.
Yes. And people, I don't think, understand how expensive repairs are. They have gotten, from 21, the price of anything has pretty much doubled.
Yeah.
And so buying a fixer is not, and we're talking not paint some rooms, remove carpet. We're talking it needs new plumbing. It needs a ton of electrical repairs, or the roof is caving, or the worst are the foundations.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked at sometimes what I see come on the market in terms of those foundations. And I just tell my buyers to run for the hills.
Yeah.
Because that could easily be a $50,000 to $100,000 repair. And on a $350,000 house, that's probably not realistic for them.
The other thing I've noticed, you're doing that education up front, and you're such an advocate for people to get into their first home. Mm-hmm. But then you're also, because you work with so many, you continue, even at this point in your career, work with so many first-time home buyers, you get an intimate knowledge of what the true challenges are for buyers. And I've seen you show up at City Hall at meetings, and then
a while ago, but
advocate for when the city comes out and they want to give low down payment assistance grants, or when they're trying to think about how to put together a program that you've lent your voice to educating those people, the direction you're going is not going to help. These are real on the ground issues. Mm-hmm. And that level of even just going above and beyond, not even with your client and the transaction, but actually seeking to inform policy. What do you think compels you to do this work?
I have no idea.
It's just the right thing to do.
It just gets me all, this is a problem. We must fix it. And these people are being so stupid and they're not seeing the light. They're not seeing what the true cost of home ownership is.
Yeah.
And so when they give, piddly, like $50,000 down payment assistance to buyers, where the average home in the area where they're trying to, have home ownership increase is $600,000, $50,000 that's not going to help.
Yeah. So how do we shape better policy?
Yeah.
And I love the, and so do you have, you're just like, I have no idea where that comes from. Like, did your parents model that? Like, it just seems like to me, when I look at you, I'm like, she's just got this compass. And I guess it's just innate that points you towards like, I have to do the right thing for my community, period.
Yes. I've always been like that. I think some of it's neurodiversity and having a justice-centered way of living life.
Do you have like an early childhood memory of like jumping in the ring here?
Oh, gosh. A lot in classrooms, but growing up and being like, that's not fair. To somebody else.
Yeah.
Like a teacher treating somebody less fair than others.
Yeah.
So, and I see it in my kids too.
Yeah. Well, for an introvert, it's so interesting because I'm like, yeah, but if someone needs defending or if there's an issue, you're not introverted, then you'll come out and you'll say something.
Yeah. And I think also one of the keys is being nice and kind, yet straightforward.
Yeah.
And not being, all roses and sunshine at all, because that doesn't help anyby.
Yeah.
And nobody
Clear is kind.
You get so much further with kindness and being nice and flattery. Flattery goes a long way to getting people to see the light.
You also have a reputation for being a really great agent to work with. I was just earlier when you were talking about you don't have many sale fails. Well, any agent with as much experience that you have that's fully educating a buyer along the way is increasing the odds of the, a surety to close, right? And so for a seller, when you show up, what an asset to the transaction.
Yeah.
And what keeps this fresh and new for you? Like, what is the thing that you love so much about this?
I think I love helping people get to the finish line, which is buying a home. Not just buying a home, but buying a home that they like and that's going to work for them and that they are going to fully aware of all the issues that could come up now or in the future and just really making sure that they know everything. Inspections are, even though I can point out most things, inspections are absolutely crucial. And I talk a lot with my buyers about the difference between upgrades and repairs. And when I'm presenting a buyer's offer to a listing agent, I don't mean this to sound braggy, but I can 90% of the time get them the house if they are willing to pay the top. I usually get listing agents to work with me to help my buyers if my buyers can afford that and are willing to go that extra mile. Most of the time when I know my buyers aren't going to get a house, I'm like, you're not going to, yes, let's write the offer.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get it. Just be aware. And I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer, but,
And you're getting them, and when you say that to clarify for our audience, like when you're able to get them into the house, it's because I imagine you're clearly articulating the amount of education, awareness, and confidence that your buyers have to close.
Yes. And I'm also asking the listing agent, unless it's super obvious, but what do you know? Like, when was the roof replaced? How old is unless I can figure it out or it's right in the listing, I always look at Portland maps, if it's in Portland or Clackamas. You can sometimes find permits, Washington County, not so much. But I'm always trying to find out as much as I can about, I mainly sell older homes. I do sell new construction. I do sell homes built in the last 20 years. But most of the East Side housing is older, meaning built before 1975.
And so you need to know about construction and
yes.
eras and years because it varies so much.
And, and I don't love homes built in the 80s. They were just built with crappy materials and cheap siding and all that stuff. And so showing houses that were built in that era, I mean, some are okay, but most of them are not, especially the little 3-1 snout houses. They just weren't built well. And so, a lot of them were built with, what is it called? PVC plumbing. I mean, basically it's the plastic plumbing, which is, if it's hasn't failed now, I mean, it's almost worse than galvanized from, the 50s and beyond. And so just letting people know, like, these are what's going to come up. And also just being like, this is the kind of stuff we'll probably be able to get in negotiations. And I also talk about what we won't probably get and, kind of presenting it both to a listing agent and the buyer as, well, if my buyers don't get this repair made, somebody else is going to want it. Nobody's going to buy the house knowing, like I just had a sale where we found out that the sewer is non-conforming and it's going to take a while because it involves right-of-way permits and all that stuff. And so the listing agent understood that if my buyers don't buy this, nobody's going to buy this house now that we know that the sewer is non-conforming. And so we worked together. And I have a great sewer contractor who was able to kind of roadmap it out, say how much it's going to cost. And it's going to take a few months, but we got them closing cost credits so that they can pay for it in a bid that says to not exceed.
All of this that you're pointing to takes a lot of experience to know. And so for a lot of our listeners who are newly licensed or just haven't had the amount of transaction experience that you've had, how did you gain this knowledge and what would you recommend to agents to because it's a lot to build this library of knowledge and information to really be able to get to this kind of level of business?
Ever since I was a kid, I have been obsessed with houses, planning. I used to draw floor plans and cities as a kid just for fun. I used to have a dollhouse up until I was like 12 where I was constantly rebuilding rooms and stuff and thinking about where's the plumbing, how is this going to get power? I mean, my brain just is wired that way for systems and how buildings are built and constructed and, and so it's just been it's been one of my special interests since I was a kid.
Yeah. So so lucky to have found real estate because you can explore where the plumbing is all day long.
All day long. And I'm always, some of my buyers might think I'm a little crazy, but I'm always like, where's this dryer venting out? Let's find out. And trying to figure it out. And I love figuring out, like, if a house has been remodeled, like where, what it used to be and what they did to make it the way it was. And to me, like, it's just like unpacking a puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting and fun.
What do you think are a few, if you were sitting down with an agent and they were starting their career, what are 3 things from your own practice that you think like every new agent should learn or do?
Go to as many home inspections as you can and follow the home inspector.
Educate yourself.
Just educate yourself on how. And if home systems are not your special interest, it's a huge part of our job that I don't think most newer agents understand how critical that is. That's how we prevent sale fails. That's how we prevent buyers from purchasing homes that, again, initially seem like they're in their budget, but
really aren't. Yeah.
And also just for people who want, a more bigger, expensive home, older kind of thing. Like, okay, well, that's great, but let's look at and see what has been updated, what hasn't, what still needs to be. And just I love talking about like concrete and when we, as a society or whatever, like in the 20s and 30s, when we kind of started figuring out the right way to mix concrete and why those homes are built better once we figured out the formula.
And then what about for getting buyers into contract? Like you're able to walk them through the system. What is one thing from your practice that you would tell other agents that's like a key to your success of getting those, especially tough buyers? There's a lot of competition in the lower price range. And you're someone who's taking buyers that are oftentimes competing against investors as well. So what is the
establish
secret
a
there?
rapport with the listing agent,
Okay.
even if they're a pain in the ass. And flattery will get you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Even bad agents that going to are going to be difficult. First, if it's going to be a difficult agent, know enough about the world of agents to know which agents might be difficult. So maybe have a talk with a more experienced agent, or just say my buyers is interested in this home. What can you tell me about the agent? Just having insight on that is super, super helpful. And establishing a rapport with the agent, the listing agent, is crucial, absolutely crucial. Even ones that don't want to have a rapport with you, it's still crucial to establish that rapport and communication.
What do you do if you can't get, I mean, I've had this a few times, is where a listing agent just doesn't respond. Do you send emails? Do you just do the communication on your end and do everything you can to?
Yeah. If I have to email, text, send out the bat signal, whatever, I will do it all. And if they still don't respond, that is great information for my buyers so that they know, okay, this is how they are before you're even under contract. Imagine how it's going to go once you're under contract. And sometimes I have buyers that are like, I don't like this. What if something comes up? And I'm like, I know this agent has a reputation for not playing ball, and we know it's going to need these repairs. Maybe this isn't the right house for you, just based on that. So for a newer agent, it's, always ask a more experienced agent.
Ask a lot of questions.
Ask a lot of questions.
And then for listings, what do you think there is your secret sauce? Because you have some beautiful listings. And I heard one thing that you said was that one of the things that you do, you have a really long-term outlook on your business. It's a referral-based business. You don't allow anyone to buy anything that you don't think you're going to be able to turn around and help them have a successful sale on.
Yes.
So
and I tell
finding
them
the
that.
right house. And then what do you think is your, when you tell a new agent, what do you think a real key component takeaway is from the way that you list and market?
Again, knowing as much as you can about the house before you put it on the market. Staging. Every house needs stage. I mean, there's occasionally one where you're selling it as a fixer, or it's just an ugly duckling and nothing's going to make it better. So maybe don't waste the money staging it. But especially for older homes, staging. It's crucial. And if the homeowner is still going to be in the home, being really honest with them, you got to get rid of this couch, or let's hide this couch under a blanket.
And do you have a go-to stager that you love working with?
I do. That'd be Appetite Staging.
Yeah.
I've been working with them for years, and they do a beautiful job. And they just really... So having a close connection with a stager is also crucial for listing homes, because they'll fit me in. I mean, I do everything I can to make them happy in terms of making sure that when they show up to stage it, the house is ready.
Yeah.
And keeping them informed as to when they can pick up the stuff. And just establishing a good relationship with a stager who will go to bat for you and squeeze you in if you need them.
What I love about talking to you and interviewing you is that you always seem to be like, I don't know why people work for me. And I'm like, I know exactly why people work with you. Because, you've said it all along here is you take the time to educate people. You are certain you're going to be able to meet their expectations. And then you do the best possible job you can for them and put them in a house.
Yes.
That that is not going to cause nasty surprises, that they love and like, and you're willing to work with them till you find that.
Yeah.
And there's no price limit, time limit on that. It's just like, what's the best thing for you? I'm going to deliver on that. And in return, what you get is this incredible savings in marketing, time to have to promote yourself because your clients just they come back and they tell other people, or when other people are sharing their nightmare stories, your folks must just look at them like, oh wow, no, we were told about that before we even made an offer.
It's funny because every year I always get a handful of folks who were working with another agent and just not feeling taken care of, or felt like the agent didn't understand what it was that they were looking for, and they talked to somebody and somebody told them to call me. And then I think those people are the best future referrals because they know what it's like to work with an agent that doesn't advocate for them or respond. People want to feel heard. People want to feel like somebody is listening to what their concerns are or their questions.
I think everybody tunes in, like whether they tune into this or they come to an excellent session or they pay for coaching because they want to hear some like magical nugget, right? And the magic nugget every time is do a really great job. Be honest.
Yeah.
Get back to people. Return a call. Like it's the basics. And that stuff's the hardest. It really is the hardest. And it's just a reminder to like, do good work. Yeah. And you'll always have work.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't a secret sauce. And my top lender refers a lot of people to me.
I bet. Yeah.
And she's the same way in terms of like communication. So I always tell people, this is the lender version of me.
We got you.
We got you. Yeah. And my main lender partner is also not, wishy-washy or, flowery. Very kind and nice, but very straightforward.
Yeah.
I think people, they want to be told not necessarily what to do, but they don't want to be given like, kind of advice. They want clear, concise, what is it going to take to do this in a way that is successful for them?
Yeah. Tell me the truth.
Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And so there's no secret sauce. I mean, just answer your phone or return a phone call. People don't really call that much anymore. Return the email, return the text. I mean, I think it's different if you're, some agents set hours. And if that works for them, that is great. That way they can protect their personal time and whatever. That is great. That is not me because my brain does not stop thinking about things when I'm not actively doing it. That there's just this little like hamster wheel kind of always going on in the back of my head. And then, so if somebody's going to contact me, I'm going to get back to them.
You're going to do it.
But I also go on vacation a lot.
You do. You have really good balance and you have a lovely family and you take great care of those kids. So,
and I've got amazing colleagues here at Living Room who will back me up when I'm gone and I back them up. And it's the best of all worlds, having those colleagues who work like I do.
Well, I so appreciate you being on today. Thank you so much for being willing to share the secret sauce that there is no secret sauce of. But it's such a good reminder. Take
care of people.
Yeah, take care of people. Thank you for taking care of all of us today.
Okay.
And again, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.